Skunkadelic All-Stars, we're setting the stage. Dynasty Draft Night, we're turning the page. First round pick 2 in the room went wild. QB1 on the clock, Buffalo's golden child. You've lit up Orchard Park, now you light our league. We're building an empire, no limits, no fatigue. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 PPR power, big play king. You'll scramble, connect, watch the scoreboard ring. Milestone bonuses, every yard we cheer. With Josh under center, victory's near. Deep benches stocked, dynasty on lock. With you at the helm, we're ready to rock. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 overall, first QB in our plan, yeah. In the no guts, no glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. From the first pick buzz to our league-wide dream, you're the heartbeat of our squad, let's reign supreme. Live streams, loud cheers, every play you own. Skunkadelic's dynasty throne. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 overall, first QB in our plan, yeah. In the no guts, no glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. Skunkadelic All-Stars, watch us shine. With Josh Allen leading, the crown is mine.
Yeah, this one's for you, Lord Skunk, aka the Commish. We build empires, not just teams. No guts, no glory, let's get it. Yeah, yeah, get it. Let's get it. No guts, no glory, dynasty territory. Rookie draft, watch me craft my legend story. Trades on the block, watch me level up my roster. Season to season, we the ultimate monster. No guts, no glory, rise up, feed me Maury. Commissioner's crown in this fantasy allegory. Stacking picks, dynasty flicks, never ordinary. League of Champions, welcome to no guts, no glory territory. Draft night live, I'm rocking that snake format. Rookies on the rise like my bars, no slack. Flexing QBs on deck, 3 wideouts getting checks. Bench studs waiting, depth's a lethal threat. Trade blocks lit, flip a pick, build a throne. Every move's calculated, chess over checkers tone. Wave awards, Wednesday grab the sleeper unknown. Hold the line, watch the pipeline fully grown. Dynasty dreams got that blueprint on lock. Season after season, I'm the talk of the block. No kickers, no DST, pure offense non-stop. And no guts, no glory, we rise to the top. No guts, no glory, dynasty territory. Rookie draft, watch me craft my legend story. Trades on the block, watch me level up my roster. Season to season, we the ultimate monster. No guts, no glory, rise up, feed me Maury. Commissioner's crown in this fantasy allegory. Stacking picks, dynasty flicks, never ordinary. League of Champions, welcome to no guts, no glory territory. Keep us locked in place, build a dynasty case. Future Hall of Famers locked in, first round grace. PPR, flex finesse, yardage milestones bless. TD dance party when my studs break the press. League safe, lock dollars drop like trophy checks. Weekly high score coins, respect the architect. Discord lit with the chat, strategy connect. No guts, no glory, this is the ultimate sect. Saw the doubters talking, they don't know the grind. We invest in young studs, stacking ballers defined. From the rook to the vet, synergy on my mind. Legacy in the making, watch me redefine. No guts, no glory, dynasty territory. Rookie draft, watch me craft my legend story. Trades on the block, watch me level up my roster. Season to season, we the ultimate no glory territory. Yo, Lord Skunk, thanks for the league. Signing off for now. Let's build that legacy. Yay!
Yo, here we go. Here we go. Wow. Man, it seems like just yesterday it was day one. Well, guess what it was? Now we're on day 2 of the No Guts, No Glory Dynasty League Startup Draft. Super, super, super excited for today. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to get into it. Let's see if we can get any chat. See if anybody wants to say what's up on YouTube. If anybody's on, would love to hear it. Love to see who's there. Love to see who's watching. Guess who is on the clock? The one and only Skunky D. We are now all the way down to the 3rd round of the draft. So I'm going to pick. Then South Beach Explorers will pick, and then we're on to the 4th round already. Can you believe that? The 3rd round reversal was banana. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to pick my pick, which I'll get to in a minute. I'm going to pick my pick, and then, it's going to come back around. But then I forgot, the 3rd round reversal goes all the way back down the other way. So I didn't get that. So my fault. I'm the commissioner, right? I was the one who did it. Oh, by the way, what do you think about that? Fresh off the press, baby. Travis Hunter, number 12. Yeah, Jaguars. What's up? What's up? Does that give anybody a hint? Chin Strap Penguins checking in. What's up, Leo? Super excited to see my boy Leo on the call. We got a bunch of the team members that have been doing some amazing picks, so I can't wait to get into those. But maybe this is a foreshadowing to what that pick is going to be. We'll see. I haven't even decided yet, to be honest. I haven't even decided who that's going to be yet. So we're going to get into that in just a second. Let's take a look at the draft board. Oh my goodness, this is the real deal here, guys. Let's get into this real quick. Let's jump over. I got a couple of picks here. I made some notes. Let me see if we can pull that up real quick. Let's take a look here. Do I have? Seems like I would have had this handy, huh? But let's take a look here. I think I know where I can find it. I thought I would have had my notes here, my documents, but I didn't. But let's pull it up. Let's see. I think. Here we go. Okay. So as we left off yesterday, we had done the first 6 picks. So let's catch up there. Okay, that's where my notes were. So we don't even get into round 2 yet because we've still technically, as far as the stream went, we never finished round 1, right? Because we stopped at Lamar Jackson. Dr. Swink's Big Pick Energy selected Lamar Jackson. Flying V took his time as well as he should. No rush there, no problems there. But he took a little bit of time. We didn't make it for the stream, so we had to end. So let's start there. So right there, the number 7 spot, Flying V selected Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Philadelphia Eagles. Great pick there. Good pick. I mean, that's a good spot to get Jalen Hurts. Burrow was still on the board. Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is being rated really high in dynasty drafts right now. He actually is being rated above, I believe, Hurts. Probably even above Burrow, which for our league is crazy because Burrow was the number 1 player last year. So hey, it is what it is. But Jalen Hurts, good pick. You can't go wrong there. You got the tush push, did not get banned, so he's going to get you some touchdowns right there, some rushing touchdowns. He'll definitely get you some passing touchdowns as well. He's a great quarterback. He's got a good team around him. So let's look at then the next pick. The next pick was Eddie Ha. He went with Burrow. Good safe pick there. I think that's a great pick. And number 8 overall, Joe Burrow. Great quarterback. Again, like I said, number 1 player last year in our league. In our league format, our league didn't exist last year, but looking back at the history, what it would have been if our scoring system was in place, Joe Burrow's number 1. So I think he got a great value there at number 8. Bijan Robinson. So the number 1, I think, rated running back, finally got picked at pick 9. He wasn't the first running back, but he finally got picked at pick 9. So very interesting, to see that Bijan made all the way to 9. I didn't think he would make it that far, but he did. So I think that's a good pick on Banson's side to get Bijan. That's a good safe pick at number 9 for sure. Now here's the surprise pick. Okay, so we're going to, so all that stuff is kind of, other than the Jahmyr Gibbs kind of wild card pick at number 3, which I don't think anybody's expecting that. Then we come into Brock Bowers. Okay, remember I talked on the stream, the last stream, day 1 stream, about I would not pick a tight end. I know this is tight end premium. I understand that. I set it up. I get that. I'm the one who determined the settings of the league. But I still wouldn't have picked a tight end in the first round. And Brock Bowers, I'm sure, is going to do great. I'm sure he's going to do wonderful things for him. That's just my philosophy. I just wouldn't have done it. Props to Joe Mama for doing that. So we'll see how that works out. We'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that here in a minute as we get through this. Next, we're going to go Malik Neighbors, number 11 overall. Went to Punting Pandas. Chino's Punting Pandas. So Malik Neighbors at number 11, I think that's a good pick. I think that's right where Malik probably should be. I think he's going to get good value. Obviously, he's younger. Last year was his rookie year. He did phenomenal, did great. Blew Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the water, and compared to expectations. So good pick there, I think, at Malik Neighbors. CeeDee Lamb, who I targeted in a lot of my leagues last year, is my number 1 pick. I did a lot of auction drafts in my redraft leagues last year, and I would bid up. Really, typically I would go through. It's going to kind of tell you my strategy for last year, and you can kind of imagine how some of those leagues went. I still won championship in many leagues, but the cards were stacked against me once you hear my strategy. So my strategy was to bid really high for 2. So I kind of did a stars and scrubs strategy. I would go either Christian McCaffrey and CeeDee Lamb, or Tyreek Hill, or a CeeDee Lamb Tyreek Hill combo. Or I would go Christian McCaffrey, and I think it was Brees. I think I went Brees, and a lot of them I was trying to get that. So it was kind of I was in a few different leagues. So I tried to go kind of that combination was my starter, and then I tried to target Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. Some of my leagues I did. Some of my leagues I got Burrow. Some of my leagues I got. One of my leagues I ended up with kind of a weird one. I got Pat Mahomes, which didn't turn out to be that great last year, but I ended up picking up off the waiver wire. I picked up Baker Mayfield, so it worked out really good. I think I went to the championship with that league, so that was pretty good. So CeeDee Lamb at number 12. So that rounds out the first round of the draft. So Jamar Chase, okay, that was kind of an interesting pick. I mean, I typically thought it would be quarterback, but Jamar Chase went first. Josh Allen second, my pick, of course. Jahmyr Gibbs went third. Jaden Daniels fourth. Justin Jefferson in fifth. Lamar Jackson 6, Jalen Hurts at 7, Joe Burrow at 8, Bijan Robinson at 9, Brock Bowers at 10, Malik Neighbors at 11, CeeDee Lamb at 12. Overall, I think that was a really good, strong for everybody. I think everybody made some strong picks. There's some interesting ones there, like I said, with the Bowers. We'll come back to that. And then the Jahmyr Gibbs, which that's an interesting one. So they're writing their own storylines here, folks. I did not script this. They're writing their own as we go. So let's jump in now to the second round, which so it would have been Christopher Green, C Green 17, got CeeDee Lamb, right, and it comes right back to him to pick again. So he's stacking wide receiver. He went with Puka Nacua. Great pick there. Puka Nacua could easily have been a first round pick there, and somebody could have picked him in the first round. It would have made sense. So a good value there, I think, overall. I think first or at least halfway through the second round was where probably Puka should fall, especially in this. We do have a lot of big play bonuses. If you're curious in our structure and how we set everything up, you can head over to NoGutsNoGloryLeague.com. It has all the structure there and a lot of our league mission and the way that we kind of set it up. You can get more feedback and information on that if you want to check that out. If you're curious. And then coming in at the 2.2 pick, Punting Panda selected Ashton Jeanty. So our first legit real rookie. Again, kind of my rule or thought process going into this draft was no tight ends in the first round and no rookies in the first round, right? Like those are like my two things I wasn't going to do. So Jeanty made it into the second round. So arguably, very touted running back. We haven't seen him yet. He's a rookie. We haven't seen him play in the NFL. We've seen him obviously in college, which was great. His records are off the charts. So So very, very interesting pick. I think a good pick there because you got Malik Neighbors and then Gianti. So you got two really young players. One was a rookie last year, one's a rookie this year. That's a really good foundation, I think, to build a dynasty draft. I'm specifically not touching on the picks below them, the third round picks yet. So we'll come back to that as we go. But Malik Neighbors and Gianti, great picks. I think those are really good to build a long term foundation. These are going to be top players for many years to come, I believe. Again, we got to see Gianti in action, which we will this year. So that remains to be determined. But I think that's a safe. If you're gonna take a risk reward, I think that's a better bet for high risk, high reward for Gianti. So now let's go back to Joe Mama. So here we are. So he heard me. I'm sure he heard me say I wouldn't take a tight end in the first round, and then bam, he knew that. He took the tight end, and comes right back around and takes another tight end in Terry McBride, right? No, what is it? Trey? Terry? What is it? Oh my goodness, I can't think. I'm drawing a blank on. Is it Trey? What is it? Trey. Okay, Trey. I want to say Terry for some reason. I think of Terry McLaurin maybe. But Trey McBride. Okay, so Trey McBride. Now, last year, yeah, okay, because CJ Stroud did so well in 23. 24, not so well. It kind of some things I didn't like about Stroud last year was he was like crying on the field. Like there was just some weird like body language he had going on. He just didn't seem like he was kind of like mentally maybe was like mentally breaking down a little bit in some of the games that I saw, just body language and stuff. So I don't know. I was kind of nervous about that. I took CJ Stroud as I picked him up off the waivers in my 23 league that I won the championship with. I had him and Patrick Mahomes in that league. But I just, for whatever reason, I didn't target him last year. I'm kind of glad I didn't. I wasn't very impressed with him. I didn't have Nico Collins. I didn't have, I think Stephon Diggs was there, right? I think last year, yeah, Stephon Diggs was with them. Joe Mixon. I didn't target any Arizona people last year. Oh, sorry. And I'm totally off. I'm thinking of Houston. I should have said Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is the quarterback, for the Arizona Cardinals. So same thing with Kyler, though. Kyler and TJ kind of put in that same group. Just didn't seem like they were both had their best performance in 24. So I did not target Arizona. I did not target Houston, not knowing any of that. Obviously, I didn't know that ahead of time. But I just wasn't targeting any of their players on either one of those teams last year. I kind of shared you who I was going for. Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, those were kind of like big names. McCaffrey, I was kind of shooting for. Now that obviously came back to bite me in a lot of cases, but I just wasn't targeting Arizona or Houston. And sorry that I kind of misplaced that there. I kind of get those two mixed up. They're very similar teams to me for the way that I look at it. As far as a quarterback consistency, some of the players on their team. So moving on next, Caleb Williams. Okay, Caleb Williams, number one pick last year in the draft, in the 24 draft. Had a lot of hype coming in. Obviously got, I think, shown up by Jaden Daniels, of course. Jaden Daniels was very touted for his work ethic and all the hard work and effort that he put in. Caleb Williams, not so much. I don't think he was lazy or anything like that. Again, I just think that he was kind of disinterested in his team. I think he was disinterested in his coaching staff, which kind of makes sense because the guy ended up getting fired. I think he did. He made some really horrible play calls there against that Detroit game. So Caleb Williams, I don't know. It's kind of a tough one. I almost knocked last year. I mean, and don't get me wrong. If you look at his total performance for the year, he did pretty well. I think he broke like some Bears records. Not that there's been a ton of really strong Bears quarterbacks over the years, but we'll see. We'll see. He got the coach from the Lions coming over, right? A high offense last year, coming over now to take over for the Bears. So we'll see. I think Caleb Williams has an opportunity. He's got skill set. Again, a lot of things I look at for me personally, I look at the mental side. I kind of look at, so like Jaden Daniels, I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's got great work ethic. Obviously, he was probably like right there. I was like 99.9% sure I was going to get Jaden Daniels. Ended up, Josh Allen fell to me. So, I went for him. But yeah, that'll be interesting with Caleb Williams. So you got Bijan Robinson, Caleb Williams. Again, we're talking about dynasty, so two young people. Pat Mahomes next with the 2.5 pick, going to Eddie Haas. So he got Burrow and Mahomes. So he did double quarterback. So two people here did double quarterback. So Burrow and Mahomes, I mean, those are two really good quarterbacks. We're in Superflex. It makes sense. Mahomes was, ranked to be a first rounder. So I think he got a ton of value. I don't know if maybe he was necessarily targeting Pat Mahomes or a second quarterback, but I think when Mahomes fell, it makes sense for him to pick him up. So I think that was a good move. I think Mahomes was rated above Hurts. I think he was rated above Burrow, which is kind of crazy to be above Burrow here in our league, but especially for what Pat Mahomes did last year. Very interesting. So Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, I think that's a good stack. I think he's going to be really good with quarterbacks. So interesting to see how the rest of the draft goes for him and some of these that went double quarterback. Moving on next, Flying V. I just saw his green light was on. Flying V picked up Saquon Barkley, right? Saquon Barkley was, the number one, one of the number one running backs last year, Super Bowl champion. Saquon Barkley. So he's got Jalen Hurts. Now look at that. Look at that stack. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. The only thing he was missing, I saw when he was up again going into the third round, I was like, oh my goodness, he's got to pick. He's got to pick AJ Brown. Like he's got to pick AJ Brown because that would be like the whole. Look at that. That would be like the whole Eagles team there. That'd been amazing. But so you got Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, good picks. Can't go wrong there, right? That's a great offense. They're going to do good things again. They're Super Bowl champions last year. They're going to be a high flying offense again. Again, the tush push did not get banned. If the tush push would have got banned, I mean, obviously that would have raised Barkley's stock up even more. But I mean, he did great with it last year. It didn't really matter. So I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I think that's a really good pick. That he ended up getting that. So Brian Thomas Jr., another really good wide receiver, right? A breakout last year. He's got Travis Hunter with him this year, right? Travis Hunter is going to be lining up with him on the line. So we're going to see. I think that's going to free up obviously some opportunities for Brian Thomas. I think it's good for both players. I think it's good for Brian Thomas. I think it's good for Travis Hunter. Both are going to do well there. So not a bad pick, Brian Thomas. I think that's probably about for a dynasty draft. I think it's probably a good spot for Brian Thomas Jr. to go. He's a young guy, right? Last year was his rookie year. So good. I think it's a good overall pick for Dr. Swinks and Big Pick Energy. Moving on to Howard the Ducks. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, Amon-Ra, a lot of people might be surprised that he fell this far. I personally probably wouldn't have picked him. Just me. I didn't target him last year. I don't know why. I don't have anything against Detroit. I would root for Detroit. I like them. Amon-Ra, I don't know what it is. Again, it goes down to one of those kind of things about the mentality of the person. I think he's got like a big chip on his shoulder, which sometimes give me the confidence level thing. I don't know. I'm not saying anything necessarily negative about him as a player or as a person. I'm just saying for me, I got to go by my style, what I go with. That's the joy of fantasy football, right? How I don't look at it as just like a pure stat thing or a pure like statistics or numbers. I look at those. Don't get me wrong. I do, and those are important. But what I like to look at is I also like to look at like the psychology of it, right? I like to look at the player. I like to look at the mentality. Again, I'm going to go back to Jayden Daniels. I mean, the guy was like the first one in, last one to leave, right? That mentality, that's a winner, right? That's a winning mentality. Or like a Josh Allen, right? A guy that can get it done regardless of what you put around him. Doesn't matter. What you have around him, he's going to get it done. He's going to score points. He's going to perform at a high level. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, good for Howard the Ducks. I'm glad he got him. He's got double stack of Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got two of the best. He's got the two best probably wide receivers in the NFC North. No doubt about it, right? So I think good pick for him. Not my flavor. I didn't target Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, and I wasn't planning on doing it this year, even if they would have fell to me. So that's just his what he wanted to go with, and that's great for him. Moving on next, we got double stack quarterback again. So Jayden Daniels by Kramer, and then he went and picked Justin Herbert. LA Chargers. I mean, you got you got a great coach there. You got a great offensive coach in Jim Harbaugh, right? I am a Michigan fan. As long as they're not playing Notre Dame, I would root for Michigan. So glad to see that the Chargers really kind of had a really good uptick last year. They didn't win the Super Bowl or anything, right? But we saw what Harbaugh can do with the 49ers. He can definitely get LA Chargers to the Super Bowl, if not this year, maybe next year. So don't doubt him. Don't doubt him as a coach. He can definitely do it. And he's got good players around him. So Justin Herbert, yeah, good pick there. I'm not a huge fan of Justin Herbert. I don't know enough about him. I never really followed him. His stats are pretty good. He just wouldn't have been one that I personally would have targeted. Nothing against him. I'm not saying anything bad. There's nothing statistically bad or anything like that. Or I just don't know enough about him to be able to do it. He wasn't one that I was kind of researching and kind of game planning around. So good pick for him, though. Good pick. Got Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's a younger guy, too. So he's going to be able to build a long-term foundation with these two quarterbacks. Omarion Hampton coming in at the 210 pick for Mick. I mean, he got Gibbs, and then he comes around and surprises with Omarion Hampton, running back, LA Chargers, right? Same team right there, right? Herbert and Hampton. So good. I don't know. We haven't seen him yet in the NFL, right? We can only look at like rookie tape. We can only look at the combine. We can only look at the stuff like that on these rookies. They're not a proven commodity yet in the NFL, but I think chances are pretty high he's going to do well. You saw what Harbaugh does with running backs. You still got Kyron Williams there. You saw what he did with Blake Corum at Michigan. So there's some good upside for sure for Omarion Hampton. You got a rookie long term. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't very old either. He's a young guy too. So that's a really good foundation as far as fantasy dynasty would go. And then we move on to my pick. So all these people where I'm touting like, oh, they're picking all these young guys, they're building a real strong foundation. That's not me. I'm not doing that. I guess that's not the grain that I'm going with. Nobody told me that this was dynasty. Nobody told me we keep these guys next year. What do you mean? No. So I ended up going Nico Collins. Why I went with Nico? Okay, I was very close to going Nico or Drake London. Drake London is probably who I was leaning. Again, goes very similar to Jaden Daniels. I was very strongly leaning toward Drake London. I thought if Drake London falls to me, I'm going to take Drake London. I didn't think Nico would fall to me. Nico is very interesting because if you look at Nico last year, I mean, he did get hurt for those couple of games, right? He was out, but I mean, the guy was on pace to do like over 2,000 yards or something. It was crazy. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. A little bit older, right? A little bit older, kind of like more than Josh Allen age, kind of that mid-range. But again, I'm going to say a proven commodity, right? A proven commodity. Again, though, I want to go back and preface what I said earlier. I talked about Kyler Murray and I talked about C.J. Stroud. Both of those guys, the consistency isn't quite there yet for either one of them. C.J. Stroud had a great 23 rookie year, a little bit rocky last year. Nico Collins got hurt. Joe Mixon got hurt. There's just people got hurt. So I kind of get that. So hopefully this will be a comeback year now for C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, some of these other players that were hurt last year. I think Stephon Diggs is gone now, right? So he moved on to New England. So this opens up the door for Nico Collins. If he's healthy, the floor and the ceiling on this guy is worth it. I think it's worth the pick. I really wanted to go Drake. My heart was telling me Drake London, but my head was telling me Nico Collins. So I really wanted to get Drake London. I wanted to have him on my team, a little bit younger player. But Nico Collins I had to get him. I couldn't leave him there. I wouldn't have felt good to know that I left him. Same thing with Josh Allen, right? I understand this is a dynasty. I know we're building long term, but these are two proven commodities. I really wanted to be able to have that. And then we come in for the 212. The final pick of the second round was Ladd McConkey. Good pick. Ladd was great last year. I picked him up. I picked him off of waivers in a couple of my leagues. He ended up breaking out, right, doing great. I think it was because Puka or Cooper got hurt. I can't remember which one got hurt, but one of them got hurt, and maybe both kind of a little bit. But Ladd tore it up. So really good pick there. I think that's probably a good spot for him to go. There's probably some value there. He probably could have made a case for him to go a little bit earlier. But I don't think I would have picked him ahead of Nico. I wouldn't have picked him ahead of even. I probably wouldn't have picked him ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown, or it would have been really close. And then Brian Thomas Jr. So I think that's probably about the right spot for Ladd. He probably got a little bit of value there. And then, of course, the third round reversal comes into play, right? So we're back to the third round reversal. So normally in a traditional state draft, it would go South Beach Explorers would have picked Ladd McConkey. Then they would have got to pick again, right? They would have picked another player, and then it would have went to me. It would have came right back to me. Doesn't work like that in third round reversal. So it went all the way back down to Christopher Green. So Christopher Green got to pick again. He got his quarterback here. He ended up getting Bo Nix. Bo Nix I picked up off waivers when I needed a streamer because one of my main quarterbacks was on bye. I ended up keeping him in a few of my leagues just because he was like doing so great. There with Denver, I think he's going to be even better now after he had that year with, oh my goodness, the coach. Can't even think of the name of the coach. But anyways, the Saints coach. Let's just say the Saints coach. So he did really well with him. And now we got, some additional pieces coming into play. You do have R.J. Harvey there, too, as a running back, which will be interesting to see where he goes later on as we get to him. And there's some interesting pieces there. And obviously, Bo Nix has got probably a little bit more confidence, a little bit more experience under his belt coming in from his rookie year. If he can repeat that, if he can pull it off and improve on what he did last year, that'd be great. Hopefully he doesn't pull a C.J. Stroud. Unless I'm going against Christopher Green that week, then I hope he does. Next up, Drake London. We just talked about him. Drake London, great pick at 3.2. I think to fall to the third round for Drake London, if you could not pass on him at this point. I mean, he really probably should have gone in the second round. I think technically being a dynasty draft, you probably could have made a case for Drake London to even go towards the end of the first. You could have done that just because he's a long-term play. He did well even with Kirk Cousins last year. He did pretty well with him. And then Michael Penix came in, and Michael Penix did really well. So Drake London, I think, has got a lot of upside. If Michael Penix can really have a great year, kind of a great full year, there's some really some big play opportunities there for them for many years to come, right? So it's not just this year; it could be many years that they would be together. So that could be a good stack. But hey, it is what it is. I had to get Nico. Sorry, Drake. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., okay, a lot of hype last year, coming at 3.3 now. He was like way earlier last year in drafts because everybody was hyping him, obviously because of his dad. He did so well, a legend in the Indianapolis Colts. But he just didn't quite do it. And again, it goes back to that weird thing I talked about. It's more than just the stats. It's more than just, their past tape. When they're doing these early season interviews and they're talking to C.J. Stroud about, getting Marvin Harrison the ball, why he's not getting the ball, he's like, that's not my job. It's not my job to get him the ball. Maybe that got taken out of context. Maybe it didn't. But those are the things that I also look for, right? I also look for little triggers like that. Maybe there's some dissension. Maybe there's some issues there. Sometimes there's just rivalries and bad blood. That happens. Not everybody gets along. So, I don't know what the deal was, but hopefully they worked it out because Marvin Harrison did have some good games last year. Obviously, Malik Neighbors was the true winner of that, I think, as far as the wide receivers. Brian Thomas Jr. would be right there as well. But Marvin Harrison's got the skill set. He's got the pedigree, right? So let's see what he can do this year. So good pick by Joe Mama. So Joe Mama picked up, two tight ends and then goes and picks up Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, great. I mean, I'm curious to see what his strategy is. I want to see kind of how the rest of his draft plays out. Pretty interesting so far on that one. Devon Achane coming in at 3.4. I would have targeted Achane. I would have got him. I think he's a great running back. I think he's he's got. Last year was tough because Tua got hurt. You just kind of had some stuff kind of falling apart. You had some really bad quarterbacks in there. I'm not picking on those guys. They just weren't to the level. I mean, Snoop Huntley wasn't he like a practice squad guy or something like that? Like they went and got him and put him in there. It was just really a rough team last year as far as them trying to string stuff together. But it really came down to the quarterback, right? I mean, Tyreek Hill had some injuries and stuff like that. He said he kind of had a nagging throughout the season. Devon Achane, I think, had a couple injuries as well. But now, let's see if they're healthy, if they can get Tua healthy, if Achane stays healthy and Tyreek can do what he does. You got Jalen Waddle as well. You got the other Jalen farther down, the backup to Achane, which a lot of people are hyped on him too. So, we'll see. We'll see what they can do. I think it's a good pick. You got Bijan and Achane, Caleb Williams. I mean, that's a pretty good, start to a fantasy dynasty draft. So we'll see what his strategy is later on as we get going. Jackson Smith and Jigba. So last year he was a big sleeper that I was targeting in a bunch of my leagues. He was going to be like one of my last picks. So typically all my last picks last year, my redraft leagues, was Jordan Mason. Like I said, I targeted a lot of Christian McCaffrey, and I wanted to make sure I had his handcuff. So I got Jordan Mason in a lot of my leagues. Even if I didn't get McCaffrey, if McCaffrey fell to somebody else or somebody else bid more for him, I still tried to get Mason because I think he's a lot of opportunity there, right? With McCaffrey in early season, we didn't know a lot about those injuries, or the extent of them at least in the beginning. But it was a good call. I got him. I'm glad I did. But Jackson Smith-Njigba was also one I was targeting as well as a sleeper. I got him in quite a few leagues. Ended up paying off, right? He did really well as a breakout last year. This year now, he's losing Geno Smith, right? Which you say, oh, Geno Smith. Geno Smith did really good last year. I picked him up again. He's another streamer guy I picked up for a while, kept him on my roster for a little bit. I think I picked him up in my Patrick Mahomes league I had, and I ended up playing him more than Patrick Mahomes a few weeks. So yeah. So I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be getting now Sam Darnold, which Sam Darnold looked really well. He looked really well as well last year. But here's the key difference. Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson. He's got Jordan Addison, right? He had, I think, that coach. That coach is like the quarterback whisperer there in Minnesota, right? Like we did with Kirk Cousins. So hopefully he does that with J.J. McCartney. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But JSN with Sam Darnold, I don't know. Too many question marks for me probably to go for JSN, at least in the third, maybe in the fourth I would have got him. But I still think he's a good pick. Eddie Haas building a really good stack there with the two really strong quarterbacks, and then he had to get wide receiver here, right? Like he didn't have an option; he had to get probably one of the best wide receivers on the board. So you see who went after him so far. Wide receiver was just Garrett Wilson. So Jackson Smith-Njigba over Garrett Wilson. The reason why I'd be down on Garrett Wilson is just because Justin Fields, right? I mean, we just don't know what Justin Fields going to do. Justin Fields got a lot of potential. Can he actually pull it off? Can he actually do it? Are they going to give him a chance? So we'll see. Justin Fields is kind of like, to me, kind of like a Tim Tebow-ish a little bit. He's a winner, for sure, a winner. How he wins is not always the prettiest, and I think that sometimes in the NFL, they don't tolerate that very long. Even if you're winning, if you're not winning with style, with flash, unless you're Pat Mahomes, then it can be your nail in the coffin for a lot of these players like Tim Tebow or potentially Justin Fields. We'll see. So coming up on Christian McCaffrey, we just talked a little bit about him. We targeted him a lot last year. I think Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy, is going to be an absolutely phenomenal pick. I probably, if he would have fell to me in the fourth, for sure, if he would have came back around to 4.2 and he was on the board, no doubt about it, I would have picked him up. I mocked it that way. So Flying V, hats off to you. When you were talking about a reach, that was a great reach because that's a good pick. I think McCaffrey's going to do really well. That right there, where he picked him at, is probably, though, about the top level of what he should be picked at because there is a lot of risk. But if you got Brock Purdy healthy, you got McCaffrey. Jordan Mason's now gone, so we got some kind of question marks. Isaac Guerrero didn't really do a ton last year to show us what he can do, so we'll see. Maybe he can do something. And then Debo's gone, right? So Debo's gone. So if Christian McCaffrey can be healthy and play, great. I mean, you could have that could be like season winning right there in McCaffrey. So we'll see. Again, same thing with Barkley, right? Same with Barkley. You got to go that way. They're both a little bit older. Could they be season? Both those guys. If those guys pop off, that's going to be one of the top teams right there in the league this year for sure. Then moving on to Garrett Wilson. Tough year for him last year. He had Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Rodgers brings in Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams gets like all the catches the last half of the year. So Garrett Wilson never really had a shot. They kind of talked about trade rumors on Garrett Wilson. What were they going to do with him? Were they going to trade him? Obviously, I'm glad they didn't because, Aaron Rodgers is gone now. I don't know how much upside it's going to be with Justin Fields, but Justin Fields had DJ Moore that year in Chicago, and DJ Moore performed well. So you can still be a high-level wide receiver with Justin Fields, and hopefully Justin Fields is getting even better. So we'll see. That could be really good. I think Garrett Wilson is a great player. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's a younger player too. So a great foundational pick. Lamar Jackson, Ryan Thomas Jr., Garrett Wilson, really good. Two young wide receivers that we know are talented and a strong, proven quarterback. So good deal. Good deal there, Dr. Sweeney. Big pick energy. Good. Drake May coming in next at the 3.8. Drake May really started turning on a little bit last year, and they built around him this year. So who knows? Maybe we could see New England come back and get back to their winning ways. We'll have to see. They got the new coach, Mike Vrabel, right? A lot of hype, a lot of energy around that. Drake May, again, showed a lot of some promise, or I'm going to say a lot, not Jaden Daniels level promise, but he showed some promise. So good pick there. And Howard the Ducks needed somebody because they had JJ and they got Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they needed that quarterback. They had to lock somebody in pretty quick. You don't want to get too much farther down. Now we're getting into like CJ Stroud, Jordan Love's there, Kyler Murray. I mean, these guys are kind of, again, those aren't like guys I would really want to try to target specifically. So that was smart. He got Drake May. That was good. I would say the last kind of like solid quarterback on the board. So good pick there. Bucky Irving. I might have picked Bucky here. I might have picked Bucky if he was available. So good job for Kramer for picking him up. Bucky Irving is last year's rookie, right? Last year's a rookie. He came in once he kind of took over the job from Rachaad White. He just started dominating. So I picked up Bucky on a lot of my leagues just off the waivers once he started to get hot. And once I think Rachaad White got hurt, I believe, and we picked him up. Like Baker broke out, right? Baker, Mike Evans. Who's the other one? Mike Evans, and I can't remember the other wide receiver. So I didn't get Mike Evans in a lot of my leagues. I ended up getting the other wide receiver that ended up getting hurt later in the year as well. But yeah, so Bucky Irvin's a great pick there. That's really good. It'll be interesting, though. That coach did leave. That coach is now coaching Travis Hunter, right, over Jacksonville. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, see if they can keep it rolling. They should. He's got a lot of talent there. Breece Hall, targeted him in some of my leagues last year. Probably would have targeted him here if he was available. If Bucky was gone and Breece was available, I might have went Breece here. So it's a good thing that Mick got him as well. Now, Mick's doing the triple stack on the running back. So I don't know what Mick's strategy really is here. If he's just trying to stack these running backs and then thinks he's going to trade, use them as trade bait later on in the thing, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe we'll have to interview some of these guys as we get a little deeper in the draft. We'll bring some of them on and we'll get their opinions as well. What's going on? But Breece Hall, okay, Breece Hall, all right. Like him, he's got a lot of talent. Again, kind of going back to like we said for Garrett Wilson, right? You kind of had Aaron Rodgers 2 years ago. You thought was going to come in and be this amazing team and they're going to be able to run wild. He got hurt the first 2 minutes of the game, was out for the whole season. So then he comes back last year and was okay. Nothing exceptional there, right? So Breece Hall really didn't have a chance, but he kind of got showed up by a couple of those other guys, a couple of those backup guys. I think there was an Isaiah guy, and then there was another one. I can't remember. There was a couple of guys I had to pick up because I needed some running backs in some of my leagues later in the year due to some injuries, and I picked a couple of those guys up, a couple of those backups, and a couple of them hit a couple times. So, Breece Hall, I would have targeted him. I think he's a young guy, young player. He's got a lot of talent. Again, we just got to see what New York what the New York Jets are going to look like with Justin Fields, with this new coaches, and go from there. But we'll see. We'll see. Good pick though. I probably would have got him if he'd have been available. But now we come all the way down to my pick. Thank you for tuning in all the way down to my pick. So I am very excited to reveal my pick. So my pick, I would love to hear some of your guys' opinions on who you think my pick would be. Hello, everybody that's in the chat. Thank you so much. Sean Payton. Yes, Sean Payton, head coach of the Saints, now head coach of the Broncos. Thank you so much for that, Leo. I appreciate it. Sean Payton, yes. Sometimes on these streams, I get thinking of all these different names of all these different people, and I draw a blank on them. Now, obviously, I mixed up C.J. Stroud and Kyler Murray, so my fault on that. I never told you guys I had a PhD in the NFL. Okay, I love the NFL. I love watching the games. I love following different players, but I'm not an expert. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not an expert. I like to do live streams because a lot of people will tell me all the stuff that I do wrong, and then I learn from it. So that's one of the big reasons I like to do live streams, and I love to hang out with all of you. But let's see here. I'm going to be coming up on my pick, but before I do, I want to make sure that I let you know about this.
Yo, it's your boy Draft Monster on the mic, repping my home dog Lord Skunk. We taking over fantasy football, $5 at a time. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST. Deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride. NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. Step in my draft room, snake style, drop that beat. 12 teams, one mission, built that elite fleet. I lock QBs, RB cows, breaking every chain. 3 wideouts, tight end locked in, flex game insane. Deep bench, plug and play, waiver wars every Wednesday. Big play bonuses, lighten up your Sunday. Half point PPR, 6-point TD buffet. I craft champions while y'all just play. My back, $5 in the pot. Champions, cash floods, runner up, take your shot. Points champ, pockets weekly, high score on lock. Yahoo Tuesday, stream sleeper Thursday, non-stop. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST, big bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride, NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. When I hit the stream, my pick calls like the screen. Running fantasy plays like you never seen. Discord chat buzzing, trade block popping loud. My community's tight, this league's proud and loud. Cash raining fast, payout slick and clean. 30 for the champion, 10 for the dream team. 6 for points boss, weekly high score green. Every matchup's fire, live that fantasy dream. From the printer to the modem, we connect worldwide. NFL passion, fantasy action, ride or die. Red drafts, rookie or dynasty vet, come on inside. LordSkunk.com, where legends thrive. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST, deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride, NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. That's the anthem, now it's your move. Join the $5 leagues at LordSkunk.com and build your dynasty.
Yo, there we go. There we go. Make sure you head over to LordSkunk.com. Jump in on those $5 redraft leagues. It's going to be the most fun $5 you ever spent on a league. I guarantee you. I cannot wait to get to those drafts. We're coming up next week. Matter of fact, a week from today, we're going to be actually drafting our first redraft league. That one will be on Yahoo, followed a couple days later on Thursday on Sleeper. Make sure that you get in on that. LordSkunk.com. Just hit that join button. Takes you right to League Safe. Put your $5 in there. They hold the money securely, safely until the end of the season. Payouts will go. All good, man. You get a chance to 10 extra money. Where right now in today's market can you 10 extra money? Have a great time doing it. Let's go. Let's go. Now, on to the pick. I'm just curious. Nobody thinks I'm gonna draft anybody, huh? No. Oh, you're thinking Hunter or Laporta. Okay, Hunter, nice. Hunter or Laporta. So I mean, I could make a case for that. If he doesn't take Trav wearing his jersey, it's a crime. It's a crime. How do you know I didn't already do a redraft league and already picked Travis Hunter? You don't know that. Travis Hunter could be a good pick. Travis Ortet, right? Travis Ortet could be good right here. We could also go down and get Laporta. You could go down and reach down and get a tight end. That would only be here's the funny part. If I reach down and got Laporta, let's go over the draft board. If I reach down and got Laporta, okay, then I would be I'd be the second person to take a tight end off the board. Joe Mama got 2 of them. But I would be the second person to get a tight end off the board. So very, very interesting when you look at it that way. That would probably be a smart move. You go down, you grab Laporta, you got him locked in. He has Jared Goff there, right? Jared Goff was a really sneaky quarterback in our league last year as far as points. So I'm just curious. Let's just see Laporta. And let's just look and see what his last year was. So he got 174 fantasy points last year, but look at the year before, 239. Now, again, that's why I wouldn't take a tight end, guys. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't do it. Like, I understand, like, oh, it's tight end premium and all that. Yeah, I get that. But we can't look at Travis Hunter. But let's look at A.J. Brown. Okay, so A.J. Brown last year, 216. Keep in mind, he only played 13 games. But look at that year before, 289, 299. Look at that. So, I'm going to stack the wide receivers up first. There's going to be some value, I think, potentially maybe in tight ends. I don't know, maybe down the line. But I wouldn't – you can make a case to reach all the way down for Laporta. I can see somebody making the case to do that, but that ain't going to be me. I ain't going to do it. So Laporta's out. We know that for a fact. He's out. I'm not going to go with another quarterback here, so I'll give you that. So, and look who they are. C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray. I'm not going to go with C.J. Stroud or Kyler Murray. You already know that for a fact. I'm not going to go for them. Jordan Love, maybe, but Jordan Love's like, I don't understand. He's got like the most wide receiver 2s and 3s of anybody in the NFL. I wish they would just get him a solid wide receiver 1 and let him cook. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. They got a lot of like 2, 3, 4 players, wide receiver 2, 3s, and 4s. So I don't know. We'll see. But I wouldn't go for him. I wouldn't go for him here. You can make a case to go for him, but I'm not going to do that. So for me, it's probably going to have to be wide receiver or running back. Wide receiver or running back. So who would that be? It could be A.J. Brown. Okay, good. Could be Travis Hunter. Could be Tet. It could be Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor could be healthy, right? Could be healthy this year. He's got Anthony Richardson is probably going to be out for a little bit. He's hurt right now. So is that going to mean that I can't even think of the guy's name. What's his name? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, right? The quarterback. Is he going to be? He's going to be the guy that could allow Jonathan Taylor to get some work in there. Trevion Henderson, right? A lot of good things said about him. Kyren Williams, again, I don't know. Kyren Williams, I had him before in 23. He did really well for me. I won that league with him, but again, he's had some issues with staying healthy. I think here. Let's see. Let's look at what he did last year. What did he do? Last year he did 272 points, 255 the year before. So the year that I had him when I won, but he only played 12 games. Here he played, so don't know. Omarion Hampton's coming up too, guys. He's going to eat into that. Omarion Hampton's probably going to overtake that potentially, guys, this year, halfway through the season potentially. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What should I do? It's down to 2 players. I'm going to tell you who they are right now. Let's go to chat real quick. It's down to 2 players. Redraft doesn't matter. Think about watching Trav every Sunday for the next 10 years and not being able to get him in your most important favorite league. Oh, wow. Mick's really trying to sell me on getting Travis Hunter. He is really trying. Mick, where do you pick at? Oh, so Mick picks right out. So it's going to go me. It's going to go South Beach Explorers in the 312 and the 4-1. Then back to me in the 4-2. Then it's going to go to Mick. So somewhere in here, Mick is trying to get me. Probably he's going for Tet. He's probably targeting. Wow, he's probably targeting Tet, and I can't believe he's trying to play mind games with me with Travis Hunter. Are you kidding me? I can't believe that you would do that. I can't believe that you would do that. That right there, that's just not right. So I am not going to go with Travis Hunter. It's going to be between A.J. Brown, Tet, or Jonathan Taylor. I'm curious to see what you guys think in the chat. Throw it up in YouTube. Throw it up there in Twitch, wherever you're at. Throw it up in the chat. I want to see who you guys think I'm going to go with. A.J. Brown, throw him in there, kind of wild card. A.J. Brown, Tet, or Jonathan Taylor. What do you think? What do you think I should do? Don't forget, T. Higgins is at the very bottom. I can't believe we're giving no respect. We're giving no respect to T. Higgins at all. Like, we are literally just ignoring that T. Higgins is on the bottom of the screen. Or maybe you guys can't see it on here. I don't know. Can you even see T. Higgins on there? Oh, you can't see T. Higgins. Anyways, T. Higgins on the bottom of the screen. So T. Higgins is down there. I mean, look at this. In the first round, Jamar Chase, number 1 overall. Joe Burrow, number 8 overall. Number 8 overall, Joe Burrow, and we're just leaving T. Higgins down there just because he got hurt a little bit last year. You guys are just forgetting how dynamic of a player he is, and he has Joe Burrow, and he's got Jamar Chase on the other side, pulling all the coverage. Right? Look at that, 2-2, 1-3. Wow, you guys are just gonna leave him sit there, huh? 26 years old, young guy. Wow, unbelievable. So let's go ahead and do it. I just want to see if anybody's got one last little chat. If you're watching this, just throw it up real quick in the YouTube. If you're not watching this on another platform, just click on the YouTube link. There's probably a YouTube link there. It'll take you right to it. Just click on it real quick. Pop in there the chat and go ahead and throw up who you think it's going to be. A.J. Brown, Tet, or Jonathan Taylor. A.J. Brown, Tet, or Jonathan Taylor. Who we got? Anybody? Yeah, Mick's trying to play it, man. He's trying to play me. He's trying to play me, man. I can't believe it. I'm going to make a quick note here. Just so you guys know that I'm doing this, and I've already picked. So regardless of what you say, I'm already going to pick. So I'm just going to make a note here. Let's go ahead and lock it in, okay? So we're locking that in. Give you guys a couple seconds. Listen, I know a lot of you watch this on your TV, and you can't really get to the chat on that. I know that. So if you can't, okay, so we got Leo. He's saying Taylor. He thinks we're going Jonathan Taylor. Probably JT. Mick says probably JT because you want to ruin my perfect running back room. Oh, my goodness, dude. You're sick. You are sick, Mick. If you would pick another running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, Omarion Hampton, Breece Hall, and a fourth running back of Jonathan Taylor, that would be absolutely the sickness. That is absolutely disgusting. I love it. I absolutely love it, but it's disgusting. I love it. All right, so here we go. With the 311 pick in the No Guts, No Glory Dynasty Startup Draft, Skunk pulls the trigger on A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Philadelphia, a true game changer with elite speed and playmaking ability. A.J. Brown is ready to ignite the offense and deliver big fantasy points all season long. This pick shows my commitment to building a powerhouse roster in the Superflex tight end premium league that I don't have a tight end yet, but Joe Mama's the only one that does. So if you want to check out what all that we have going on and No Guts, No Glory, make sure you follow us on all the socials, all the stuff. I'm blowing up stuff. I'm blowing up all the time with content. Head over to NoGutsNoGloryLeague.com. So NoGutsNoGloryLeague.com. Check that out. Make sure that you head over to LordSkunk.com. Jump in these redrafts we got going. We got 2 going next week. One's on Yahoo, one's on Sleeper at $5. Get you into a pot for $60. Gives you a chance to have a lot of fun and potentially make a little bit of money back. If you're new to Fantasy 2, we'd love to help you out. So make sure you head over to LordSkunk.com. Check that out. But now to make the official pick, here we go. Boom. Done. A.J. Brown. What? You guys were not in a million years think I was going to go A.J. Brown. I had to go A.J. Brown. I had to do it. I wanted to get that wide receiver stack. I'm kind of stacking those middle, I don't want to say middle age because they're not middle age, but middle age for football standards in Josh Allen, Nico Collins, A.J. Brown. I know a lot of you guys are stacking these young guys, and that's great, and I'm excited to watch them perform and what they're going to do. But I could not pass up Nico, A.J. Brown, and when Josh Allen fell to me, I had to do it. So there we go. It is what it is. We will only know at the end of the season how it all works out. But you know what? We're having a dang good fun time in the interim. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to leave you with this.
Skunkadelic All-Stars, we're setting the stage. Dynasty draft night, we're turning the page. First round pick 2 in the room went wild. QB1 on the clock, Buffalo's golden child. You've lit up Orchard Park, now you light our league. We're building an empire, no limits, no fatigue. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 PPR power, big play king. You'll scramble, connect, watch the scoreboard ring. Milestone bonuses, every yard we cheer. With Josh under center, victory's near. Deep benches stocked, dynasty on lock. With you at the helm, we're ready to rock. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 overall, first QB in our plan, yeah. In the No Guts, No Glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. From the first pick buzz to our league-wide dream, You're the heartbeat of our squad, let's reign supreme. Live streams, loud cheers, every play you